going on, guys? I hope you're good. This is Pretty Slick Rick from Pretty Slick Rick TV. And yeah, so I was watching a TalkSport interview from about 11 days ago, close to the beginning of the month. And there was a bit of a discussion with Simon Jordan and Chris Eubank Snr. And Chris Eubank Sr., and I love Chris Eubank Sr., amazing fighter, world champion, well spoken, entertaining as well, and of Jamaican heritage. I'm mixed Caribbean, so I share some of the heritage, or a percentage of the heritage. Damn, my hand is dry. Okay, my hand's dry. We're gonna keep the hand away from the camera. Anyway. So he went on to say the son shouldn't outshine the father or stay within the father's shadows, okay? And when it comes to the family dynamic, I don't agree. Like, me personally, I have a daughter, and if my daughter doesn't do better than me, I'm not putting pressure on my daughter, I'm putting pressure on myself. If I do not push, or if I do not put my daughter into a position where she is better than me by the time she gets to my age, okay, I failed. Each generation before should make it easier for the generation that follows. So if I do not plant the seeds for my daughter to do better than me, I failed. Like, I'm not a gardener. I would not be a successful gardener if I do not plant these seeds. You know what I mean? Like, and so him saying that, I kind of disagree, and unfortunately it feels like there's an element of he almost, and I hate to say this, and I'm gonna say it, but not say it directly about Chris, okay? I'm gonna say, if a parent feels like that, then there's a level of jealousy, and there's a level of like scarcity. Like, I don't want for my child, okay? I'm not talking about Chris, I'm talking about people that think like that now, okay? Because at the end of the day, I can't talk about a person, how they parent. I can't, be disrespectful. So what I'm gonna say is, I'll say people that think like that. There's almost like this scarcity attitude, and that fear of being outshunned by the one after, the one that follows. And I would love to be in my daughter's shadow, especially if right, she's shining in a field that I once did. So, she learned from me and then made whatever I did better, like a more refined version of whatever I did. Like, I would love that. I would love that, and I don't hold back in the information that I give my daughter, like, in the sense of, I'm not even talking about the wins, I'm talking about the losses. I don't even hold back in the losses, if I'm not doing very well, I tell my daughter, look, dad's struggling, and this is where I'm struggling. Do you know what I mean? And the whole point is not just to make conversation. The whole point is to give her some more life data, so that hopefully she can learn from some of my mistakes. Like, dad did that, dad told me about that. Oh, I know what to expect because dad got through that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would love to be in my daughter's shadow. I would love it, but again, that's just me. But yeah, so unfortunately on this time, I disagree with Chris Eubank Sr. child shouldn't outshine the parent, you know. You know, I hold my daughter up. So if I hold my daughter towards the sun and I'm behind her, then I'm in the shadow. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I hold her up towards the sun, like if you check the visuals, if I hold her up towards the sun, I am behind her, so I'm in the shadows. And that's what we're supposed to do for our kids. We hold our children up. We hold them up. You know, we are that invisible spine that holds them up. You know what I mean? That second spine that holds them up. That external spine that holds them up. You know? So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to disagree. And but going back to Senior though, him saying something like that, like 10 days before his son's fight, the rematch with Conor Ben, but then you see him at the weigh-in, and it's like, you know, there was a bit like, to me, there was a bit almost like an uncomfortable moment where Chris Eubank Snr is in full character. Like, he's in full character, he's in full Chris character, and I think it's Eye of the Tiger is on, and he's dancing to Eye of the Tiger. And if I'm honest, I've never seen someone dance to Eye of the Tiger. Like, you can kind of bob your head, or you just say, yeah, I'm gonna punch, or I'm gonna run, I'm gonna do this. And there's something about that Rocky music that is so motivating, I can't lie. And when I used to train, and then the coach used to put on the Rocky soundtrack, and it used to be normally the coach used to put it on, you know, those summer days, those hot summer days when everyone's drained and it's hot in the gym and it's stuffy and everyone's just sweating and the energy is kind of sucked out of us, like we're just all dehydrated and overheated, and he puts on the Rocky, and after that we get a second wind. Anyway, Chris is dancing to Eye of the Tiger and he's winding his waist. I don't know why he was winding his waist, but anyway, that's a whole nother story, that's a whole nother situation, right? And you know, Connor's with his dad, Nigel Ben, and Nigel put his arm around him, and they put their arm around each other. So Chris tried to put his arm around his dad, and his dad was like too busy just dancing. And I'm like, embrace your son, man, embrace him. You know what I mean? But I don't know. So him saying that prior, don't outshine, and it's like, well, it's no longer your moment. Senior, it's no longer your moment, and it's like you're trying to, it looked like you're trying to outshine and like take a little bit of attention, you know, by going into full senior mode, you know. But it is what it is, and I'm pretty sure, you know, Chris probably used to it, you know, like not used to being outshone, that's not what I'm saying, just used to like how his dad is. His dad's different, you know. He's extremely like charismatic, and he's energetic, and you know, Chris he seems like a cool guy, but when he's in full Chris Eubank Senior mode, yeah, it's different. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I respect the man, but it was just something that I thought I would address, reaching out to the fathers. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, listen, what's your opinion? I'm not trying to be disrespectful either, you know what I mean? Again, I would never talk about a man or a parent on how they raise their kids, do you know what I mean? End of the day, there's no instruction booklet, there's no instruction manual on how to do this. So we're all just failing our way to a successful child upbringment. Upbringment is now a new word, but we're failing our way to a successful upbringment. You know what I mean? Like, none of us know what we're doing, and we're going to make mistakes, but then we're going to correct our mistakes, and we're going to keep going. And you know what I mean? But as long as love is there, you know, as long as love is there, like, you can't tell me a perfect parent, because there's not a perfect situation. There's never a perfect situation, so there's never a perfect parent. You know, because at the end of the day, as humans, we go through things and stuff, and that will alter how we interact with other humans, especially little human beings that can be annoying. Do you know what I mean? Or younger human beings that can be annoying. So it is what it is. And It just is what it is, guys. It's just not that deep. But yeah, anyway, there's not an instruction manual, so who the hell am I to talk about another person on how they're going to raise their parents or what values, you know, they're going to install into their child. As long as the child is being raised with love, you know what I mean, and the child is being raised with love and taught to lead with love, then what the hell are we really doing? But yeah, it was just something that I wanted to speak about, you know what I mean, maybe get some conversations going in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on should a parent be outshined by their child, or should a child outshine the parent, which is the same thing, just said differently. Anyway, I'm signing off now. Peace.